Good evening, Professor. Today I will be discussing two people in my life that I would identify as a good leader and another as a good manager. The person I chose as someone who I thought was a really excellent manager is my old motor sergeant. When I was in the military, I had the privilege of working for this individual. He was the definition of an effective manager. Leading by example was his defining attribute. He always was hands-on and never asked us to do anything that he would not do himself, which is why he was loved by the team so much. He led from the front and performed all the work alongside with his team. Whenever there was a new mission to be executed, he always had the ability to narrow his focus on the mission at hand and come up with an effective plan of execution. At the end of the day, he was able to direct all of us into being successful and accomplishing all tasks needed on a daily basis. The other person I chose that I thought was a great leader is my close friend. Now, I have never seen my close friend lead in a business setting, but I have been with him in multiple academic and social settings, and he definitely excels in leadership qualities and in a leadership role. His intelligence was his defining attribute. Because he was so incredibly smart, he was able to think ahead and be strategic in the direction of how a group project needed to be accomplished. He always understood the bigger picture or deeper meaning of either a task that gets assigned to the project team or the intent of people's actions in social settings. He challenged me personally to think of better ways of developing my own skills. He also challenges himself by looking to improve processes to become more efficient in any task related to personal or academic matters. Now, a common thing between these two individuals and my suggestion for them on what they need to work on is their emotional intelligence. EQ is divided into four competencies. The first being self-awareness, which is your ability to understand your strengths and weaknesses and recognize how your emotions can affect your team. The second being self-management, which is your capacity to manage your emotions, particularly in stressful situations. The third being social awareness, which is the aptitude to recognize other people's emotions and organizational dynamics. And the fourth being relationship management, which is the ability to resolve conflicts, influence others, and coach them. Both of these leaders were lacking in the first two competencies. And when their emotions started getting involved, the leadership failed, and the team dynamics started to erode and in turn caused inefficiency. I would definitely aspire to be like my motor sergeant based on the fact that I already see myself as a manager compared to a leader. I also try to emulate how he worked with his team. I am a firm believer in leading by example and leading from the front, by working alongside with your team. Nobody likes, respects, or listens to a do as I say, not as I do type leader or manager. And one thing I need to work on as a manager is my own emotional intelligence. I have made many mistakes in my time in leadership roles, both leadership and management roles, because of it. One strategy I find helpful is just practicing empathy in my thought, decision, and direction process. I know how important it is to take a little extra time to reflect and analyze my own internal processes with empathy in mind to try to understand how the intent of what I say or do will come across others. In conclusion, being a leader or a manager is a constantly evolving process, as no matter what your style is or your approach is, it is something that will always have to be adjusted based on the people you are working with and the situation you are working with. So it is always best practice to take that little extra moment to practice empathy to be the best leader or manager possible. Thank you.